Now that you've had an opportunity to work on these techniques, we want to show you a little bit more about how this technique can work for you. But we should cover a couple of issues. In Judo, it is illegal to grab on the inside of the gi, in the sleeve or in the ankle. So stay away from doing that. That said, let's consider looking at how a taller person would use Tai Otoshi against a shorter person. Now we start with Tai Otoshi, and for the tall people you're going to love this because it's a throw that is made for you. Short people want to come into you. They want to be right next to you where they can get into their techniques and get underneath you. Taller people, you want to be able to keep these people away, which is what I plan to do with him. Now, a traditional Judo grip will be one hand on the sleeve, one hand on the lapel, and then I will do the same here and here. Now, this is only if you're right on right. If we're right on left, he would turn and we would have two hands on the sleeve, two hands on lapel. This we'll cover in just a moment. For right now, for a right on right situation, if I am going to compete against a person that is shorter than me and I want to throw Tai Otoshi, remember we want to consider our line here. This can always be our point of reference. Remember, the short person wants to be right here. They're happy right here. I'm not happy here because I can't do anything. I want to be able to push this person out. At the same time I'm pushing out, I'm pushing down with my wrist. I'm doing this motion with my wrist. This motion with a shorter person, as I'm stepping back, will pop his hand down my gi or completely off, which will allow him to grab right here on my gi, which is where I want him to grab. In this position, he is not comfortable. I have just now made him as tall as I am. This is bad for him because he is not used to being this tall. I'm now stepping, at the same time I've done this, turning and finishing my technique. One more time from this angle. We have our line. Short person's holding on. Down, bring my shoulder back. He regrips. I'm on my line. Step, turn, and finish. Try this out with your partner right now. Now that we've covered how to handle a shorter person, now we need to handle somebody equivalent, somebody about the same size. It could be a little bit, but about the same size. If we try to do the same type of motion that we just did against the smaller person, we're going to be in trouble because this person is more than likely going to be of equal strength. I need to do something that's going to take away from his strength and help me. In this position, I still take my step, but if I leave this arm that is back here, if I leave it back with him, he's liable to post out with this hand. So as I try to come, he'll post, and that will block out my arm. And I can't have that. I need to make sure this person moves. So, from this position, I need to take my step, make my pull. As I come across, I'm going to release with this hand, bring it straight across, hit him in the shoulder, and then when I turn, this hand will slide right to the elbow. What I'm doing is I'm putting all of his weight onto this foot. So if I take away from his power, which is on that side, he can't post me out, then I have a better opportunity of getting my throw. So come up, out, turn. Now this hand's going to slide, and I'm going to come down here. One more time from this angle. Step, release, come across, turn, slide, finish. Try this with your partner. At full speed, this technique will look this way. Now that you've handled the small guy, and you've handled the average guy, you now have to learn how to handle the big guys. Now, of course, my partner here is not the biggest person in the world, but what we're going to cover right now will be equal for all big guys and how you can try to throw them with Tai Otoshi. The biggest problem that little people have trying to throw this technique is being able to move this much muscle from this way or whatever the way. So what we need to do is make the motion ourselves. So whereas before we stepped and pulled, and that was enough to make the motion, now we have to do something a little bit different. This time, what I'm going to do, my partner is going to stand right here. When I take my step, I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to step way back behind. At the same time, I'm going to be pushing through with my hand. Now, understand for the small person, this is where I've grabbed the last 2 times. I will not grab here on a big person because I feel very uncomfortable. He's probably going to slaughter me if I stand here equal with him. I want to go to the outside shoulder, just outside the shoulder, not way in the back, just on, I can be on the shoulder or just behind the shoulder. I then want to roll my wrist in this fashion, roll it into him. As I'm taking that roll, I'm taking a step with this back foot, back here. As you can see, his body has already started moving and I'm not even pulling. So from here, I have my line, I'm pulling, rolling, stepping. The deeper my steps, the more he'll move. Here. Now, one more time, we'll try it on the line so you make sure you see it right. Remember, always have your line. My arm on the back. I still have my full hand here. Step. Start my roll with my wrist. Here. Step deep. Pull through. And finish. As I said earlier, this technique can be used specifically for tall people, to be used against shorter people. However, if you're short and you really want to try this technique, this is the way to get it done. Now, for one of the biggest problems that a judo competitor will ever run into, the left on right fight. Remember what we talked earlier, when you have a left on right, you have one person holding sleeve and the other person's holding the exact same sleeve, and the lapel is being held as well. Now, the problem with the left and right fight is that we both want the same thing. We both want to pull either here or I want to pull him here. So this is the fight right here. You may go to a tournament and you'll see 2 guys doing this for the whole match and wondering what they're doing. Well, they're trying to get hold here. As I was told when I was a kid, this is a 50-50 line right here. Whoever wins this fight is going to win the match and get the throw. For our point right here, using for Tai Otoshi, we need to try to do something to this person that makes them uncomfortable. Keep in mind, everybody who is either tall or a lefty or righty wants to be comfortable. So, if he's a lefty, what I want to try to do to him is make him into something he's not. He's not a righty, so he's not going to be comfortable. So, what I can do is I can use this foot to come through, kick this foot out, or sweep this foot out. If you look at him now, he's now a righty. Here, he's a righty. Okay? Big key that I need to do once I've made that sweep here is that now I need to take this same foot without stopping. So it's a kick, turn, then come across. Okay? A couple of things that I'm doing. With this hand, even if it's a big guy or whatever, here I'm popping this person's elbow up into the air with my arm, bringing it up. That's causing their weight to come this way. If I kick the foot and do it all at the same time, it really makes him turn. Now I can turn and finish the throw. We'll try this one more time. Lefty. Can't get in, can't make him let go of this hand, can't pull it across. I got to do something. Kick foot, turn, rotate the arm, step back, and finish the technique. One more time from this angle. Here, step, turn, spin,